everyone and welcome! Whenever a new or newly reworked champion is about to arrive in League, Riot makes sure to drop in a teaser or two to hook people in. These teasers usually contain vague hints as to who we are dealing with, and sometimes they are so vague we don't understand them even years after their release. Occasionally these hints appear in their stories as well. Riot wants to have windows open for future plot twists, but time goes by and these windows remain open. This is how mysteries are created, and to this day we got a bunch of them that still don't make sense to us. So today I want to show you 8 unsolved mysteries that still linger in the universe of League of Legends. For the first one, let's start with a mystery that a lot of you will be familiar with. It is obvious that Jhin was one of Riot's favorite projects. He got a very artistic cinematic teaser, he got a very long development history, and he also got 4 teaser images that started chaos around the internet. People started speculating, photoshopping, searching and warping those images in order to make sense of them. There were even people who overlaid all the images, turned the opacity down to 25%, and noticed it looked like a butterfly. Spoiler alert. If you overlay any pieces of art, they give you abstract art in return. The way these images were revealed was through the official League of Legends champion list. If you went to the official site, the portraits of Zedd, Sona, Vi and Garen were different. They were animated and when you clicked on them, the teaser images would appear. We now understand that all of those lights, smoke and trees are only in Jhin's head. He is killing people, but in his mind it is beautiful art. But the choices of champions was strange here. Zedd has a strong connection to his past. Sona could be a possible rival as she is an artist herself. But Vi and Garen are totally random. And while this mystery was kind of confirmed to be random by Wargbabo, a writer on the narrative team, it brings in a different kind of mystery. Wargbabo said that this teaser wasn't 100% in line with the lore, and that the team chose different champions for aesthetic reasons, to make the teaser images prettier. This doesn't really explain why Vi and Garen are there though. This would mean that they were picked to represent something to complete the cycle of the 4 teaser images. Remember, the magical number is 4. Wargbabo also said that this is a representation of how Jhin would perform with these champions. And we know how these performances end. And that he is aware of those champions, which brings in a new kind of mystery. I can understand how Jhin would know about Garen. He is a warrior of a higher rank in the Demacian military. But how would Jhin possibly know about Vi, a somewhat of a random cop that helps one of many detectives in Piltover? Maybe we'll hear about this topic again in the future. The second mystery I wanted to talk about today is the one around Kindred. No, not the one that Kindred is Jhin. That's something else. Well, not them specifically, but there is an unsolved mystery surrounding one of their stories. Let's have a listen to it.
Ram, tell me a story.
There was once a pale man with dark hair who was very lonely.
Why was it lonely?
All things must meet this man, so they shunned him.
Did he chase them all?
He took an axe and split himself in 2.
So he would always have a friend.
So he would always have a friend.
See, this mystery suggests that this is how Kindred were made. A pale man whom everyone has to meet. That's them, that's what they do. Yet, they don't seem to have any connections to this pale man. What's awesome about this is that this mystery may hint at the origins of Kindred. These 2 spirits may have come from a greater power. Maybe there really was a pale man who acted as the Grim Reaper. And maybe he was really forced to split himself in 2. Maybe to make his job easier. Or maybe so he wouldn't be lonely. Either way, this is still a mystery that we have yet to solve. The next unsolved mystery is somewhat of a recent one. When Confessions of a Broken Blade got released, which was a multi-part story about Riven and Yasuo, their bios received some more information to really fit into the current lore. And the new version of Yasuo's bio spawned a new kind of hype. Here's the new part. His mother was a widow already raising a young son, when the man who would be Yasuo's father blew into her life like an autumn wind. And just like that lonely season, he was gone again before the blanket of Ionian winter settled over the small family. This new part of Yasuo's story revealed that he does have a father that is still alive, but we still don't know who it is. The story is using wind puns to tease that maybe his father was also a master of the wind technique, and it is likely that he may yet live. He would be a really old man now, but Yasuo's father may still be alive. I wouldn't be surprised if Riot used this character in a future story. And I wouldn't be surprised if Yasuo meeting his father was turned into some kind of a plot twist. But for now, the mystery of Yasuo's father remains unsolved. Next up we have the Seal Sister. Many people may not know about this, but Ornn, Volibear and Anivia are siblings. Well, maybe not in the true sense of that word, but they call each other brothers and sisters. They act as some kind of protectors of Freljord and titans that shape those lands. We know that Ornn and Volibear don't like each other because everything Ornn builds, Volibear destroys in frenzy. Anivia seems to be in the middle of that. But Volibear is still the bad guy who has an army of shape-shifting worshippers. But besides those three titanic spirits of Freljord, we know there is also a fourth one, someone called the Seal Sister. We still have no idea what's her purpose, but at least we know that there is another demigod in the oceans. Here's a part of Ornn's story that mentions her. He was pleased with his hearth home, but it was too hot inside to dwell comfortably, even for Ornn. So he dug a trench from the sea, straight to the mountain. The Seal Sister allowed cold waters to rush through the trench and cool Hearth home. Great plumps of steam rose up. It took 3 days for the mountain to cool enough for Ornn. In that time, the ocean that fed the river dipped several inches. The next mystery is pretty straightforward. Those of you who know Zedd's story know exactly what I'm talking about. The long story short is that Zedd was an impatient student who wanted to beat his childhood rival, Shen. Shen was too good, however, and the only way to beat him was to cheat. So Zedd snuck into their temple and looked for their forbidden techniques. There he found a mysterious box that was said to contain dark knowledge. Zedd knew he shouldn't open it, but he peeked inside anyway. That's how the shadows touched his mind. And that's how he learned the shadow techniques. Of course, after Zedd suddenly beat Shen for no reason, his master noticed what Zedd had done and banished him. For years Zedd wandered around, gathering followers, teaching them what he learned, and starting his own order, the Order of the Shadow. After he had his own army of followers, Zedd marched back into the Kinko monastery. But surprisingly, his master just stood at the gates waiting for him. The master told him that he failed Zedd as his master. He should have showed him the right path, instead of leaving Zedd to the shadows. The old man told Zedd to enter the temple, destroy the box, and lead his followers to balance. So Zedd followed his master inside. Moments later, the assembled ninjas heard Zedd cry out in pain. Mysteriously, he emerged unharmed and threw the severed head of the master at Shen's feet. Screaming in rage, Zedd commanded his followers to slaughter the master's students and seize the box. To this day, we still don't know what happened there. We don't know why Zedd screamed out in pain. We don't know what the box truly contains. And we don't know why he had to kill his master. This is one massive mystery that seems to play a big role in the entire ninja story. Yet, it remains unsolved. Next up, we have the mystery of C. For those of you who don't know, C is a wanted criminal from Piltover. He is known for his massive robberies and small heists that serve as distractions. We still don't know what he looks like, what's his rank, who he is, or what he really does. All we know is his name, or at least the letter he uses for his signatures. Both Caitlyn and Vi are on the same case to get C locked up. And we already got multiple stories where C played a big role. Yet we need to talk about one specific rumor around C. Some of you may think that Camille is C. Her name starts with C, she is very slippery, and it is nearly impossible to go against her face to face. And yet it can't be her, because Camille acts for the good of her clan. She is an agent that follows the orders of her clan leader. Her role is also referred to as the Principal Intelligencer. She wouldn't rob and steal because she has no personal goals that would benefit from it. Also, if she really was this uncatchable thief, Why would she sign with her actual name? Why would she even give out that hint? Especially since nobody actually knows her real name. Everyone knows Camille as the Grey Lady. Nobody knows she's Camille, outside of her clan. So I really doubt it is her. I still believe that C is a character Riot will introduce sooner or later. There is a perfect setup since we already know about his presence. So it's only a matter of time. But right now, we don't know much. Next up in line we have Nagake Boros, the bearded lady, the godly kraken of the depths. This legendary creature seems to be the source of power for a lot of our champions. Nautilus is now the herald of Nagake Boros, punishing those who don't pay her tithes. Pike also seems to be affected by the powers of Nagake Boros. His abilities and theme are very similar to Illaoi, and the story indicates that he can now commune with the creatures of the ocean. So there has to be a connection to some kind of a higher power. And speaking of Illaoi, she is the Kraken Priestess. She can wield the powers of Nagake Boros, proving that it is real. Yet we have no idea what it is. Is the bearded lady a god? A demigod? Is she the seal sister mentioned by Ornn? Is there a connection to the Void perhaps? We know the Void opened a lot of rifts at the bottom of the ocean. Also, Pike talks about certain swimming city. Could that be a Void rift in the ocean? Or is that Nagake Boros is doing? Right now, Nagake Boros is still one massive mystery. And now the last unsolved mystery and the newest mystery on this list, Swain's Demon. When Swain's teaser was revealed, I was hyped to see what Riot have done with Beatrice, the raven that always sat at Swain's shoulder. Well, Beatrice is gone now and there is no replacement, which got me curious. Did Riot turn Beatrice into the demon that gave Swain his visions? Well, right now we have no idea. Swain's story was released and there was nothing that would really tell us what's happening with the demon. It told us that Swain learned about the demon's existence inside Noxus, and he managed to take its powers into his own hands, quite literally. But we don't know how he managed to do it. We don't know what the demon is, what it normally does, or how Swain was able to outsmart it. It is just there. But that's it for this video. It's just a fun idea I had for a while. Sometimes we get hyped for things that never really get revealed. And sometimes we totally forget about some of the never explained things. So that's why I wanted to bring them up again. But as I said, that's going to be it for this video. I could have also talked about the daughter of Warwick, which people would probably tell me that it is confirmed that it is Jinx or Caitlyn or something like that. And I could have talked about Zoe and the key on her belt, but that one was recently mentioned in a news story, so I don't want to dig into that yet. So, as I said, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like it and subscribe for more lore and news. If you'd like to check our social media, Twitch merch and P.O. Box will be in the description. Of course, massive shout out to our patrons for going the extra mile, you guys are amazing. And with that, thank you all so much for being here and for your support, I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you again.